Hey y'all, welcome back. We got another update for OpenFusion, and I decided from here on out I'm going to do it with my actual voice, like commentate with my actual voice rather than the stupid voice memos, just because this seems to be more preferable for most people. So we're going to split this video into three separate parts. Firstly, we're going to look at what's new. Secondly, we're going to look at the playability of this game. And thirdly, we're going to look at how soon we can expect a full game. A lot of that's going to be just based off of math and presumption and what we've seen from growth of this game in the past. So nothing is certain in this game, but I have done a bit of research which would lead me to believe that we aren't too far from a complete game. So firstly, with the what's new section, there was an update for Halloween. I didn't want to cover that because it only lasted a week, so it was temporary. So other than that, what's going to be considered adding towards the final cut of the game, we've seen a ton of mobs being added, mainly within the wilds. I'll throw a map on the screen now that was shared in the Discord of all the mobs that have been added. Also, there have been tweaks to mobs within the future because some of them were missing specifically in the future. Moving on to the playability section, so what was holding this game back before was the difficulty of adding mobs to a specific area, which would prevent you from leveling up, because the majority of missions, which is the main way that people are able to level up, is through killing mobs and completing missions. But now with new mobs being added, this adds onto the playability factor, and it leads to it being a lot easier to level up. So over the past couple of weeks, I wanted to figure out more of this playability factor, and within this factor, I wanted to see how many missions I could do and how far I could get in the game just through actually completing missions, rather than just forcing a level up through the nano command. And I was able to get through level 7, but that was prior to this update. And within this update, we've seen mobs being added to Genius Grove, as well as a ton of wilds areas. An issue with this is there aren't very many mobs between levels 7 and levels 11 per se. We don't have any mobs in Peach Creek Estates or in Eternal Vistas or Eternal Meadows or in the nuclear facility or in Ennsville or any really of the other higher level suburbs areas like Foster's Home or Goat's Junkyard. But we do have a ton of mobs between Prickly Pines, Camp Kidney, Mount Blackhead, and some of the even higher level wilds areas. Like we have mobs in Twisted Forest and in Leakley Lake. So it is possible to level up. I would say the cap right now is probably level 19, but it would get a little bit hairy around between levels 8 and levels 11 or so, mainly because it's difficult to complete missions within that area, within that time span, because of the lack of mobs within those specific level based areas. So I'd say right now, I'm not sure anyone would do this, but if you really wanted to complete the game, you're just missing that. I think you could most likely get up to about level 19 before you would reach an issue with the amount of mobs within a specific area. Other than mobs, there are some things that are completely complete game, minus the mobs, of course, and that's the buddy list, that's the emails, and a few other things that are just small fixes. So now I'm going to look towards how long until we'll have a complete game. I think within a month or so, we will probably have mobs within all areas. I say this based off the fact that it was about 2 weeks between the last update, which gave us mobs, and this one, and that was also taking into consideration the Halloween update. And the Halloween update, it was of course great, but it didn't add any mobs, and it didn't work towards a complete game. It was just like a special holiday update. So because of that, I think by the beginning of December, I would hope that we have mobs within this game, because I'm in the Discord and there are a ton of people who are attempting to add mobs, and there's been a lot of positive movement lately. And I'd say about 75% of the wilds have had mobs added just within the past 2 weeks since the most recent update pertaining to mobs. So I think that city will most likely be next, and then a little bit of the suburbs still needs to be added, as well as of course the Darklands. But I think in general it won't be too long until we have mobs. Other than mobs, I think the buddy list, of course, in the emails, and I'm sure there are some other small fixes that I might be missing, and there might be an update for Thanksgiving and maybe one for Christmas that might slow this process down. But honestly, I could see a complete game being a thing unless there are some barriers that I'm missing completely, and unless there's a huge shift to focus on holiday temporary updates rather than working towards the complete game, and unless this project just loses traction when it's almost done. I would say by the middle of January, this is merely speculation, but I would say by the middle of January, we could expect a complete game. All right, I think that's all I wanted to cover within this video. We have gained so many subscribers recently, it's kind of nuts. I was at like the low 40s, and now I'm up to the mid 60s within like 2 or 3 weeks, which is insane. So shouts out to everyone who's new, and hopefully this more ramble based rather than content based and a more speculation oriented video, hopefully y'all enjoy it, because a question that I see is, when are we going to get the complete game? How far are we from Open Fusion being basically Fusion Fall Retro? And I just wanted to answer those questions based on speculation and based on what I've seen from the game recently. But if you have any questions, join the Discord or comment down below, and I'll be sure to include any questions that you have within a new video, because I'll probably make another update video within like 3 weeks or so. But yeah, so just let me know. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more.